Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the second lecture video of data communication and networking. Okay, in this chapter we are going to deal about the network models. A network is something you make a connection with them. Okay, if you want to transfer a data from point A to point C, okay, point A to point C, then you will make a network through point B. Okay, so this is what you will do. A network is again made fine to transfer the data from one point to the another and to find the best way so that you can transfer the data. The next slide deals with the layer task. We use the concept of layers in our daily life. As an example, let us consider two friends who communicate through a postal mail. The process of sending a letter to a friend would be a complex if there were no services available from the post office. Fine. So there is an hierarchy model in which you will see how one friend, a person A, will send letter to person B. Okay, so there are three things in here. One is sender, the person who is receiving the post mail is the receiver, and the medium is nothing but a carrier. These are the tasks involved in sending a letter. Here the person sender A and the receiver person B. The sender A, the letter is written, put it in an envelope and dropped in a mailbox. Okay, after that what will happen? The letter is carried from a mailbox to a post office. When we are writing a letter in and put in an envelope, that comes in a higher layer. When you are putting a letter in an envelope, is a higher layer and dropped in a mailbox. After that, from that mailbox to the post office, it comes under the middle layer, the middle part. Now from the post office, the letter is delivered to the carrier by the post office. Now it is delivered to a carrier by the post office. The post office will give the letters to the carrier, and this comes under the lower layer. From that, the parcel is carried from the source to the destination. This is the carrier part. Okay, this is the sender, this is the carrier part, and this is the receiver. Now after that, what happened once it is received at the receiving end? The letter is delivered from the carrier to the post office. The letter is delivered to the carrier from the post office, and the letter is delivered to from the carrier to the post office comes under lower layer. After that, what we'll do, the letter is carried from the post office to the mailbox. From the mailbox to the post office, and from the post office to the mailbox will come under the middle layer. Now coming to the higher layer. The higher layer is that when you put the letter in an envelope and dropped in a mailbox. And here what will happen? The letter is picked up, removed from the envelope and read. So this comes under the higher layer. Okay, so this is the process of writing a letter and sending from sender to a receiver through a carrier. Each work here is divided into different layers, that is called as a higher, middle and lower layer. Fine. Now we will see a model based on this. It is called as an OSI model. Now for the OSI model you should know what is an ISO. Okay, so ISO is an international standard organization. What it will do, it is a multinational body dedicated to worldwide agreement on international standards. Okay, so an ISO standard that covers all aspects of the network communication is the open system interconnection. Okay, so there is a model called as an OSI model. It will cover all the aspects of a network communication. It was first introduced in the late 1970s. In this one, what you will see a layer architecture, how this OSI model is layered. Okay, one after the other program is there. In the previous slide, you have observed there are three layers for sending a letter. Like that, in a network communication, you are having different layers to communicate. After that peer-to-peer process, it is that which will take place at the sender and a receiver side. Okay. After that, there is an encapsulation, and encapsulation is something in which you are having a header and a tail and a data in between. When this all combined and form one frame. It is called as an encapsulation. Now we will see the 7 layers of the OSI model. These are the 7 layers. Starting from the first layer is the physical, the second is data link, third is network, fourth is transport, fifth is session, sixth is presentation, and the seventh is application. So when you're writing this at a sender side, we'll write in this format. Okay, we'll start with the application, that is the 7th layer. After the 6th layer, 5th, 4th, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the process starts from the application. After that, presentation, session, transportation, network, data link, physical. In this form, you will write the OSI model. We are studying the OSI model, but in reality, we don't use OSI model. Instead of that, we will use ISO TCP IP model, which consists of 4 layers. The 4 layer is nothing but combination of this 7 layer OSI model. It's a small example where we can see the interaction between the layers in the OSI model. Okay, here is a device A and it will send data to the device B. And as you can see here, the data is transmitted through an intermediate node. After that, again an intermediate node. Then the data is passed to the device B. We'll start with the device A. The data from the application layer is transferred to the presentation layer. For example, you are opening an app, okay, and that you will enter your credentials. Once you are entered with the credentials, your account will open and the presentation format will be there where you want to access the data. The data from the application layer will transfer to the presentation layer. Okay. From the presentation layer, it will add the about application data and it will send out to the session layer. So what you are observing here, that the lower layer is giving service to the above layer. Fine. From the session layer, again it will pass on to the transport layer with the help of 5 to 5th layer and 4th layer interference. From the transport layer, it is transferred to the network layer between the 4 and 3 interface. From network layer, it will pass on to the data link layer with the 3 and 2 layer interface. From data link layer, it will pass on to the physical layer with the 2-1 layer interface. So the data from the 7th layer will come down all to the layer 1 of the OSI model. Now from here, it should be transferred to the opposite end, okay, which is the device B. But what you are having in between, you are having intermediate node in between. So what it will do, in the intermediate node, only the 3 layers will work, okay, will take place to work. Whereas in the device A and device B, all 7 layers will work. Whereas in the intermediate node, it will only take 3 layers to work. That is physical layer, data link, network layer. And the rest of the layers won't work in this OSI model. And it will just transfer the data from one node to another. Once it's reached the device B, what will happen? The data is at the physical layer. It will remove the physical part and it will, whatever the data link data is available, it will transfer to the layer 2. From the layer 2, it will remove the data link part and the remaining part is transferred to the network layer. In the layer 3, it will remove the network part and it will transfer the data to the transport layer. In layer 4, it will remove the transport part and transfer the data to the session layer. In layer 5, it will remove the session layer part and it transfer the data to the presentation layer. In layer 6, it will remove the presentation data and it will transfer the data to the application layer. So this is how the process takes place between device A and device B. Okay, where the sender A and sender B will use all the 7 layers of the OSI model, where the intermediate node only use the 3 layers of the OSI model, that is layer 1, layer 2 and layer 3. See the next slide here. There is an exchange model using an OSI model. Okay, it all start from here. Here H defines for header and D defines for data. Now data 7 is there. Okay, so before traveling to that one, it is also having an header 7, that it belongs to layer 7. Now this combination will give the data 6. It includes the header 7 and data 7. Now after the data received with the layer 6, it is header 6 is attached to it. Okay, now again the combination of header 6 and data 6 will give you data 5 in the layer 5. So for data 5 there will be a header 5 attached to it. The combination of header 5 and data 5 will give you data 4, which is in layer 4. To know about that the data is in layer 4, we'll add an header 4 to it. The combination of header 4 and data 4 will give you data 3. Okay, in the layer 3. Fine. Again, what will happen? You will add a prefix h3 to the data. Now, the combination of h3 and d3 will give you data 2. The data 2 will also have a header 2 and it will also have a tail 2, that it represents to the layer 2 of the OSI model. Now the combination of h2, data 2 and t2 will give you the data. It is nothing but the representation of the binary number in the physical layer 1. Again it will add h1 to it. Now the signal is in bit format. It will convert into the form of a transportation, so that it will convert into form of a signal so that it can easily transport from one point to another. Now this between is the transmission medium. The data get transferred from this point to point B. Now here is the input of the physical layer. In that one, what it will happen? It will remove the H1 part and this is the D1 part. It will pass it to the above layer and it will give service to the above layer, that is layer 2. In that one you are having H2, D2 and T2. Okay, only D2 will get forward in the form of a H3 and D3. And again in layer 3, HL3 is removed and the data 3 is forward to the top layer, that is layer 4, which is a combination of H4 and D4. Here again H4 is removed and the D4 is forwarded to the layer 5. Fine. The layer file is the session. In that one, again the H5 is removed and it is left with only a D5, data 5. The data 5 is again transferred to the layer 6 layer, that is the presentation layer. In that one, it will again remove the H6 and only data 6 is left, which is forwarded to the application layer, that is the layer 7. In that one, you are having H7 and D7. H7 is again removed, the data 7 is given to the endpoint of the receiver. Fine. So this is how the OSI model will take place. I hope you like this video. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section, and if you like this video, please press like. Okay, and you can share with your friends. Thanks for watching.